Everyone keeps waiting for a housing crash, but here's the truth. It's not coming. The market isn't collapsing, it's frozen. And for relocation buyers, the biggest mistake I see is waiting for a crash that simply isn't showing up in the data. Hi, I'm Jenny Liu. I help relocation buyers who are moving to Boston make smart, data-driven decisions with strategy, not headlines. And look, I get why people hope for a big price drop. I really do. I bought my first home in 2009, back when housing felt like a clearance sale. Prices were low, inventory was everywhere. It was an amazing time to buy. And honestly, I would like to see those days again. But today's market isn't 2009. It's a completely different reality. Right now, millions of homeowners are locked into 2 to 3% mortgage rates. So they're not moving. That means fewer homes hit the market, sales slow down, but prices stay sticky. And in many areas, they still rise. It's not a crash, it's gridlock. And there's another uncomfortable truth that most people don't talk about. Real price declines usually don't happen in a healthy job market. For prices to truly reset, there has to be forced selling. And historically, that tends to happen when job losses rise. In other words, job losses are often the real trigger for a housing correction. And right now, that pressure simply is not there. So instead of a crash, we're seeing a market that's stuck, frozen in place. And when we zoom into our local numbers, we see the same pattern. Sales are down, inventory is tight, days on market are up a little. But prices, they're still higher than just a few years ago. Slower does not mean cheaper. And if you're relocating here, this matters. Because when you're moving to Boston, you're not just comparing prices. You're balancing timing, job relocation, schools, commute, lifestyle, and sometimes you don't have the luxury of waiting years for the perfect market. And what I see with a lot of relocation buyers is they wait for a price drop that never really shows up. And by the time they're ready to buy, the home that they would have bought is gone, or it costs more than it did before. So the decision isn't just, do I buy now or later? The real question is, what does waiting actually cost me in terms of quality of life, time, and opportunity? And here's something most national headlines miss. Real estate doesn't move as one single market. It moves in micro markets. So instead of asking, is the Boston housing market up or down? The smarter question is, what's happening in my price range at my target neighborhood? Because that's where the real story is. Here's what my most successful relocation buyers are doing right now. They get pre-approved early so they're ready to move fast. They stay flexible on neighborhoods but firm on lifestyle priorities. They consider homes with light cosmetic upside instead of chasing the ultra perfect, ultra competitive listings. Sometimes that means buying the right home now and refinancing later. Other times it means renting for a short season while we learn the area and wait for the right home, not just any home. The goal isn't to chase the absolute cheapest price. The goal is to make a decision that supports your life, your timing, and your long-term plans. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. Some people should buy now, some people should wait. The difference is whether their choice is based on fear and headlines or on data, context, and your real-world situation. In a frozen market, strategy beats timing. And my job isn't to convince you to buy a home. My job is to help you understand the reality of the market you're stepping into so you can make the right decision for your life, your timing, and your finances. If you're planning on moving to Boston, reach out. Grab my relocation guide, which I'll link below. I'll walk you through the trends in your exact price point and your target town so you can move forward confidently.